blue numbers. Florida State in that garnet and gold trim. Only meeting of the regular season between these two teams, and the Seminoles will start off with the basketball. Doesn't take long to find Latson. Acrobatic assist, maybe. Nope. But Kayla Timpson couldn't finish it off. But as much as you do talk about Taina Latson, Timpson's such a presence inside for the Seminoles.
And you see right away, Latson going to the paint, finding KK Timpson, who's got to be a huge factor tonight. But that's what you run into. This team, Duke, is so good at blocking shots.
Yeah, second in the country, Duke, in block shots per game. Florida State's win against Virginia Tech. As you look at the Duke starting five, Kara Lawson sticking with the same group to start. Reagan Richardson going inside to Brown. Ashlon Jackson now. Tough pass to get right, and it's taken away again.
This is the transition when you talk about Florida State. What makes them so dangerous? Their spacing is good, and they typically get those rhythm threes. So they may launch a lot of threes, but they're good shots for them if it's in rhythm like that.
Latson struggling a bit from beyond the arc, under 25% for the season, shot a much higher percentage last year. You wonder if that's a number that's going to have to increase for her and for Florida State. She does pretty much everything else at an extremely high level. 6 now to shoot for Duke. They'll take the 3. Well, if it was going to be offense versus defense in this game, defense is winning early on.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of good block shots from Duke. Florida State getting deep in the paint. And then Florida State, their guards, their hands are so quick.
Timpson working the offensive glass. It'll stay here with Florida State. Kara Lawson in her 4th season as head coach. See, wearing the purple tonight. I don't know if you can tell. It kind of matches that Duke blue. It is a shade of purple, though, as obviously she has ties to Pat Summit. This is the We Back Pat game for the Duke Blue Devils tonight, honoring her former coach and bringing attention, awareness to her fight against Alzheimer's. No good on the 3-point attempt from Brown. She has a green light to shoot those. Finally have some points, and Jaden Donovan does so in impressive fashion.
That's how you get it going, Jaden Donovan, making a basketball play. Terrific athleticism in that young lady right there. Jaden Donovan is going to be a force in this league.
Maria Gordon misses. So Florida State still without a bucket in this one. Duke looking to get off to a good start, something they've struggled with last couple of games. And in fact, in all of conference play, Kara Lawson telling us that by the first media timeout, they trailed in 5 of their first 7 ACC games. Snoop Turnage inserted in the starting lineup, a little more length, a little more rebounding for the Seminoles for number 1. But the Seminoles 0 for 8 to start this one.
Well, Kara Lawson talked about the best you can do against this type of offense is dictate the shot quality that they're getting. Florida State's getting some good shots. But to me, Duke looks like they're rushing their offense, making them play even faster. They're just able to contain them. It's really good defense, solid backup defense, and that's a big-time 3. Snoop Turnage getting in the scoring board.
Yeah, she may be in there for a rebounding. The point's really a bonus and a much-needed one at the moment for the Seminole offense. It's started out struggling. Kick out. Shot around the rim and out. Taina Mair, the Boston College transfer, couldn't get it to go down.
Ashlon Jackson had that ball right near the restricted arc circle. I would have liked to have seen her just jump off 2 feet, hit a little short jumper. Instead, you kick it out for the 3.
Brooke Wyckoff, head coach of the Seminoles. Former player, of course, All-American at Florida State. Drive to the basket with the left hand is good. Donovan has all 4 of Duke's points.
I like the way Jaden Donovan has dictated this Duke offense. A quick start was very important for the Blue Devils. And how about that move?
Here comes Taina Latson.
I mean, her body control is really unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can tell that she spent a lot of time getting stronger because of her ability to change direction and stay in control.
Some miscommunication there, turns it over.
Jaden Donovan, give her that much space, she's just going to attack, and she's got that strong body to be able to take contact. And there's Latson just twerking and getting, twisting, twerking her body to get to, not really twerking, sorry, wrong choice of words there, twisting her body to get to the rim. Now, if you're able to twerk and hit a layup, you are very talented. That's All-American.
Oh, sorry, I threw you off because I couldn't help giggling at that. I knew what you meant, though. Latson coming off one of the most prolific freshman seasons ever. National Freshman of the Year, ACC Rookie of the Year. And here is the spark plug off the bench for the Blue Devils. Doesn't take you long to notice Aluchi Okanoa, number 5. And Kara Lawson likes what she brings off the bench. It's a lot.
Best rebounder, your second best scorer. She's efficient. 22 minutes, she's putting in that work and giving you 11.6 boards right off the bench, too. It's one of the Duke's strong suits is their bench play. They're getting 24 points.
Nobody really picked up the basketball there. Gordon was able to keep going, and then, of course, when you have a breakdown on defense, it helps to have a shot blocker to bail you out.
Richardson has such great vision of the ball. You know a shot blocker is good when they can keep their body away from the player. She was able to just kind of palm that. A little bit of a height advantage there.
Drive. There was a foul as Mair, a ton of speed heading to the basket. She'll have some free throws coming up. Slow start, but a 1-point game as we head to our first break.
There wouldn't be an hour in the day that I wouldn't think about my hair.
It was a big one.
Yeah, big time win. And she said that was the signature program win for Coach Sue Semrau and Florida State. And how cool to see Brooke Wyckoff be a part of that and to grow this to a top 25 team. Just taken off. Just love the way that this team has responded and grown under a coach like Brooke Wyckoff, right? Because the circumstances that she had to step in as an interim, you know, just took that by the reins and then has just shown great leadership in this program.
Second season as a head coach, plus that interim season as defense gets a turnover here. And 12th year on staff at Florida State. Brooke both played for and coached with the legendary Sue Semrau for many years and has now done such a tremendous job of making this program her own. 12 ACC wins last year. That was the most since 2017-18. They were picked 9th. They finished tied for 4th. Expectations certainly, understandably higher coming into this season.
Sure. I mean, the talent, the personnel is there.
Mair, another good drive. And the follow-up, Delaney Thomas, freshman and off the bench. Fouled at her putback attempt. Like the first foul on Timpson. Blue Devils taking advantage from the free throw line. We've got a nice little doubleheader for you tonight on ACC Network with women's hoops. Coming up next, we'll send you over to Chapel Hill for Deja Kelly. Number 20, North Carolina hosting Miami. Really good one. North Carolina, of course, coming off big win on Sunday, handing Louisville Cardinals their first ACC loss.
Deja Kelly going off 4 straight 20-point games.
Yeah.
Getting it done.
It was so tough not to vote her ACC Player of the Week this week. I'll admit, but Deja Fair's just been doing crazy things for Syracuse.
Well, how great is the ACC that you're not at that level? You're saying, well, I mean, 4 20-point games in a row is nice and all, but what else do you have? What about a 30-point game? Give me one of those. We're talking.
We've had a few.
Yes, we have. For Duke, getting in the paint, priority. And their ability to score points in the paint is also big. They're a +9 over team. So that shot selection, making sure your players are feeling good and staying aggressive, that competitive stamina that Coach Lawson talked about.
Yeah, we like that term. Alexis Tucker committing that foul. And it seems like the Blue Devils have found some success in a game where both teams have struggled offensively, driving and getting themselves to the free throw line. Both teams have combined 4 for 22 from the floor, so the free throws have been important.
Yeah, not quite blazing offense yet in this one.
Not yet.
You know, when you get teams with those kind of styles, sometimes they cancel each other out. And Florida State's trying to play fast, really fast.
The kick out. Carla Villegas, known as a shooter, has struggled the last few games. 0 for her last 7 from 3 coming into this one tonight. Latson on the bench at the moment, as is Timpson. Brooke Wyckoff has really shifted some things around. Things aren't working so far yet, Brooke, for this Florida State team. What do they need offensively here?
Well, they need defensive stops, and I think that's what you're seeing is the rotation with White coming in, some size there at 6'1". And here's Bonner, again with some size. So I think that's what Wyckoff is going for is, hey, let's get stops, then we can get some points.
Okanoa, nice fake to get herself a little bit of space. Gets the ball back. 3-point Blue Devil lead. Mair, 8 on the shot clock now, working off the screen. Goes back to Kennedy Brown. That's how you do it, pick and roll.
Well, I love the patience by Mair. She waited for the slip and then waited for the defense to rotate back. Great heads-up play.
Alexis Tucker trying to go right into the teeth of that Blue Devil defense that already is racking up a few block shots. They do that so well. Feels like that's an unfortunate call, and Okanoa gets called for the travel.
Here's that pick and roll. You wait, you wait, you wait. 1 beat longer. That is a great execution. Good vision there again. Brown catches it. She's able to protect her body.
4 blocks already in this game for Duke in the first quarter. It has been tough for Florida State to find much of anything easy offensively.
Yep. And they're so used to getting deep in the paint, Jen, that, you know, to face a team like that that's so good and multiple players who can block shots, the adjustment that you have to make if you're Florida State and a player is, hey, let me pop up for that mid-range. Let me step back a little bit. And then when I can get all the way to the rim, I'm still going to attack. But you can't just run into a wall and expect to get fouled.
Cable shot off the mark. Glances off the rim and out of bounds. Cable, sophomore, part of this young Duke Blue Devil lineup. Frustrating start, no doubt, for Brooke Wyckoff's team on the road here. And remember, they are coming off back-to-back losses in conference play. They sit at 5-3 in the ACC, lost at Syracuse, and then at home against Virginia, giving the Cavaliers their first conference win of the season. Gordon finds Turnage, who hit a 3 earlier. Open for 3 is number 3, and Ashlon Jackson knocks it down. An absolutely dreadful start for the Florida State Seminoles on the road. The Duke Blue Devils holding home court.
Chris came to TurboTax because
I switched gears from delivering part-time.
Who went scoreless in the game against NC State. It's on the board here with a 3 and an assist from Jaden Donovan. So a good play for Duke because you get some teamwork involved in there and you get a triple.
Meanwhile, Florida State has not scored in the last 4 minutes. A 9-0 Blue Devil run to take this 13-5 lead. Here is Latson. Can she be the engine to get this Seminole team going? She gets 2 more. She's got 4 in the game.
Comes in right away. You know where she's going. You can't stop her. Takes that contact and hits a high degree of difficulty shot off the glass. I mean, if that doesn't tell you this All-American worthy, just comes right in and makes something happen.
Travel and a turnover by the Blue Devils. Their 6th turnover of this first quarter. And I feel like some of those are what Kara Lawson knows she has to live with a little bit as this young team learns and grows. Loves the potential, loves what she's seen from them so far, but still learning in this league. But Jetty, that's a tough 2.
She had to adjust her shot in the air, bring her arm all the way back to make sure it cleared and didn't get swatted. Henslow was ready.
Donovan over to Okanoa. Nobody Boxes Akano out. She's the top rebounder for the Blue Devils. You can see why. 5'10", just works so hard on the glass.
If I'm Florida State, I need Michaela Timpson to get out, start calling for the ball. I need her to be loud. I need her to be big.
Bonner into the paint. And out of bounds. It's been quiet so far for Timpson, hasn't it?
Yeah. And she's got the talent and ability to put up some big numbers on any given night. I want to see her arms get wide and kind of command that basketball.
This would be a good time to remind you that this is a Florida State team that averages over 80 points per game.
Wow.
In conference play. They're in single digits. You know Duke is never going to make it easy when they come after you defensively. I mean, such an elite defensive team. Last year, number 2 in the country in scoring defense. This year's team, maybe not quite at that level, but obviously still pretty tough. Final shot of the quarter could belong to Latson, and it's an offensive foul.
Let's take another look at this one. You know Latson going to put the ball on the floor, trying to avoid contact. She's so good at getting the free throw line, right? Splits through one defender. He's called for the charge.
The buzzer is good! Hello! How about some fireworks at the end of the first 10 minutes?
That's how you break out of a scoreless game. Almost a step too fast, if there is such a thing, right? To get into that rhythm of hitting shots at the right pace, it's a sweet spot.
Mair with 10 on the shot clock, knocks down the triple.
Right, so Duke is in their sweet spot right now, especially thanks to a phenomenal shot by Ashlon Jackson at the end of the first quarter.
Latson from the free throw line gets a friendly bounce off the back of the iron. She has 6.
And so having said all that, the way that Duke has played and seemingly dominated this game, it's only an 8-point lead. Well,
yeah, well,
just kidding.
When you talk about defense, though, that can't happen.
No.
A wide open look for Richardson.
Right, that's just a one dribble pull up. And here's a screen, little jab steps, no thank you. The help side, not there, and leads a wide open shot.
Gordon, really quiet so far for Florida State. Latson working the baseline. Bajetti, a lot of traffic to get through to the rim. Turns it over. Brown running the floor. Bit of help defense, but works out for Florida State, despite the fact that Donovan was wide open under the basket. Turnage, already hit 1 3 in this game.
Wow, Gordon's fast. Are you kidding me that she just tracked that ball down all the way from the other side of the floor?
She's having a great year, Amaria Gordon, OMG as she's known down in Tallahassee. And
there it is.
There is Timpson, first points in the game for KK Timpson. She averages 14.
You know, good to see Timpson get in the paint there and finish high. Good job by Bajetti to fight for position there, but she double dribbled once she got control of the basketball. She did, yes.
Yeah, good on the steal, but you called it right afterward, double dribble.
Here's Timpson getting that ball at the high post. I mean, she makes it look easy, but you'd like to see her take more shot attempts. It's like, you can get off your shot just about against anybody.
Blue Devils getting the ball back off that turnover. Would have been a steal, and then turned it right back over to Bajetti. Well, now it's Duke's turn for the double dribble, and Florida State will take it. 9th Blue Devil turnover. I'm just talking about Timpson a little more. You know, you were calling for it in the first quarter. Where is she? Make herself big. They need to find her. I mean, she shoots at almost 65% from the floor. That is first in the ACC. That's in conference play. Give her the ball. Oh, good hands, Donovan.
Stephen is the type of player who's going to dominate. You can just see the untapped potential that she has and how hard she works.
McDonald's All-American, DC Gatorade Player of the Year, came in very highly touted. Timpson on the offensive glass. Bajetti ready and waiting for three.
Wow, and no Florida State bodies in the paint to try to get an offensive rebound. And look, it still leads to a fast break for Duke.
Richardson had to come over after the fact there, hitting the foul.
So there's Donovan, hands into play, eyes up with a nice finish. She can dunk now, so I was kind of holding my breath, hoping she was going to throw one down for us.
I think she thought about it for half a second.
How could you not? You see an open floor?
Come on, Jaden. Bust out something special for us.
Yeah, we seen long, big time shot. Ashlon Jackson, give us the dunk.
Alexis Tucker can't hit. Boy, Brooke Wyckoff still searching for the right combination out there for her team on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, she seemed just frustrated at the way that her team has responded to this challenge tonight. I mean, Duke's moving the basketball so quickly. They're spreading the floor. Now, they're not hitting all their shots, but they certainly look like they're executing in what they want.
Bajetti.
So that's where she's got to stop at one of those tick marks and just take a shot.
Oh, look how fast Jackson gets down the floor. She has a largest lead of the game now for Duke.
Good to see Ashlon Jackson have the game tonight that she has.
Well, there's an answer. Gordon with her first three. She averages 14 points per game. You really look at that big three for Florida State. Latson, you put Gordon in there the way she's playing this year, and Timpson. And Bajetti's kind of your X factor, what she can give you.
Well, this Florida State team can catch fire at any minute. And that's what you get. We have so many scores. Even if you're going through a slump, all it takes is 1 3. Then it becomes contagious. Now we got a ball game.
Alexis Tucker doing her part, knocking down the three. Florida State trying to find their way back into this one. Duke, though, with a 6-point lead.
Let's go!
Basketball presented by Ally. Well, we talked about a clash of offense versus defense coming in. The Duke defense, Brooke, really stealing the show so far.
Yeah, they have just made Florida State uncomfortable. They're doing a great job walling up on transition, and we've seen the block shot, so they're taking care of the paint. Here, Latson told us the best thing that you can do is, try to dictate the quality of shots that they take. Know who we're guarding, get to the spots. So with the young team, an eager team, and a team that has no idea what type of speed Florida State possesses, they have handled this situation this night really well.
Delaney Thomas with an and one opportunity on the way. Just like she planned it.
Well, gets deep position there, and all she's got to do is turn. I mean, that's a great catch if you're getting that deep in the paint, and that's where Florida State wants to make an adjustment, right? You got to push her and make her catch outside of the paint, try to get that momentum going away from the basket, because all she had to do was turn and shoot.
Alexis Tucker picking up her second personal. She'll head to the bench. Maya Bonner back on the floor for Florida State. Latson. Bajetti crossing over and is fouled. Trying to make something happen. Foul on Mair, her first.
Bajetti trying to weave through two defenders here.
My apologies, that was actually Emsbo who picked up that foul for Duke. Gordon got the baseline clear. It'll stay with Florida State under the basket. Just 2 points in the game for Timpson.
On this out-of-bounds play, just about to say, I'd like to see her get a touch. Here we go.
She's going for it. And had no help there rebound-wise.
Yeah, I think we've seen that a couple times tonight. Florida State's players going to head back to stop Duke's transition.
Well, it has certainly not been the most beautifully executed offensive game thus far, particularly by Florida State, still shooting just 25% for the game. Duke has had some nice moments on both ends, particularly on this end, though, defensively. Okanwa recovers after the ball off the top of her shoe. Mair asking for a screen.
So once that screen happens, they switch, so you've got a big-time advantage. But they're gonna go outside, okay? Take it outside.
Second three of the game for Mair. She has 8 points. Duke, 4 of 9 from 3 in the game.
Yeah, Duke's hitting from deep. And meanwhile, off that screen and roll, it gives them a huge size advantage. Delaney Thomas, 6'3", able to post up a smaller player with Bajetti right there.
Emsbo open and good for 2. 8-0 Duke run as they surge back out in front by 14 now. Largest lead for the Blue Devils off of that 8-0 run. Gordon, corner 3, no good. Duke off and running. Emsbo took her time and was fouled.
The execution in the transition offensively for Duke. Well done and get inside position. Good spacing and passing from Duke. I really like the way that they're rotating the ball. They're not over dribbling. They're not trying to over penetrate. They're really doing a good job of just changing directions on the floor, keeping the defense guessing.
Emsbo, the 6'5" grad transfer from Yale, on the free throw line now. Men's hoops doubleheader coming your way on Saturday. Georgia Tech taking on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. That one's at 5 Eastern. Then Syracuse hosting NC State from the JMA Wireless Dome. Blue Devils have done a much better job of getting to the free throw line in this game. They're 6 for 9. Florida State has still yet to shoot a free throw. Brooke Wyckoff has been pretty frustrated down there on the sideline.
Yeah, this is a game where Florida State, they're trying to get those wheels turning, and Duke is doing everything to disrupt, make you feel uncomfortable, and this is what they do well. Yeah, you're right, Coach Wyckoff, not happy about the way your team's executing tonight or the calls.
That was the second foul on Richardson. She goes out, but Jetty loses it. Thomas running the floor with the basketball. It's her own rebound. Jackson. Timpson trying to regain some order and control for the Seminoles in this game. Gordon out of control in the end. This just does not look like the elite offensive Florida State team that I think we've seen most of this season.
The guards are over penetrating. They're getting too deep in the lane, and then they're trying to create a difficult shot. The speed is there, right? But sometimes when you're so in it, you got to remember, hey, let me slow down and play off 2 feet again. But again, that's what Duke's defense can make you do. Play either faster than you want to, or you're just uncomfortable. Like, that's over penetrating to me, right? Stop at that free throw line and hit a jump shot from right there.
Look at the effort though. Turnage nearly got it back for Florida State. Really, the only reason Duke's not further out in front are the turnovers, 11 of them so far for the Blue Devils.
I mean, you can see how much more relaxed and confident Duke looks running their offense. They're in no rush.
Latson for Florida State is a player who rarely looks rushed, but has she seen it enough might be the question if you're a Florida State fan watching this game. Jackson.
That's tough.
Well, When you finish the first quarter with a bomb from beyond midcourt, you must feel like anything's going to go in for you tonight.
I like the way she stopped. Played off 2 feet, looked and see what the defense was giving her. Ooh, that's a difficult shot from Latson. Come on, she's carrying the defense with her.
She has 8, Jackson has 10 on the other side for Duke.
2 terrific guards going at it.
That is going to give the ball to Florida State, and ACC Friday Night Wrestling duels are back. For the next 5 weeks, we'll have a conference matchup right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Tomorrow night, it's conference opening night with number 8, NC State, and number 19, Pittsburgh at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern. Thomas called for the foul offensively for Duke, so now Florida State with the basketball. 21 points for this Seminole team that averages over 80 in ACC play. Can they get going?
Wow.
Latson in the lane. And this Duke defense doing what it does to people and then running the floor. Defense to offense. Mair taking advantage. She has 10.
That was 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. That amazing offensive execution. Duke gets the stop. And the look ahead, I love that bullet pass.
Pagetti, a difficult drive. She is fouled by Okanawa.
Duke out in transition. Look ahead from Jackson. Terrific pass. And Florida State has seemed, everyone has seemed to step off tonight. And Latson doing what she can offensively. Seminoles look a little gassed tonight.
Pagetti has been trying to get into this game. Now has 3 points with that free throw. But I think as much as you would talk about Florida State struggling offensively in this game, you give so much credit to Duke and the way the Blue Devils have executed their defensive game plan and found enough offense on the other end to feel pretty good about where they sit right now.
As a young team, Kara Lawson knows that their execution goes in and out. So can they carry that through to the second half?
They're working no-look passes. You think they're feeling good? To what they are doing there. Adija Fair leading the way. Let's see if the Orange can stay there. Long way to go, of course. Latson starting off with the ball in her hands to start the second half. Probably a good idea if you're Florida State.
Yeah, definitely want to get her involved. And let's see defensively, though. I would like to see how different Florida State shows up in this second half. You already see Pagetti, one of the better defenders in the ACC, ready to go toe-to-toe.
Duke will take the 3 and make it. Mair. That's her 3rd triple of the night. She has 13.
She's having an excellent night. Already 2 players from Duke in double figures. How about Jackson's night? 4 of 5 after going scoreless against NC State.
It's a way to bounce back.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no friendly roll that time for Brianna Snoop Turnage. She was fouled, though.
Let's go back to the way Duke executes this 3-point play. A little brush screen. Donovan. Right? She's so strong when you got that size difference plus her strength. It's hard to fight around that, even for the second that you need to contest a shot. Donovan will just hold a player up just long enough to get you that open shot.
Turnage hasn't been to the line very often this season. She's just recently gotten into the starting lineup, hits both of those. This is her 6th straight start for the Seminoles. And we've got some work to do in this one. Brown had a big game defensively. 4 blocks in the first half. Nice ball movement and the finish by Richardson.
There were so few dribbles on that possession. You love to see it. Good ball movement and the cuts by Duke players. They're getting to the space, and Florida State's got to do a better job of disrupting that movement.
Turnage to Gordon. Pagetti. Can she start hitting for Florida State? Has just not found her rhythm yet in this game. Donovan lays it off last minute to Brown. Yeah, there's no way Florida State gets back in this if they cannot get some stops on the defensive end, no matter what Taina, Latson and company do on the offensive end.
And tonight, the way that, okay, Jaden just want to bomb it like that. and the way that Florida State is taking shots like this, and when you don't get called for a foul, then Duke can get that ball and actually use transition against you. So the over-penetrating for Florida State is leading to fast break opportunities for Duke.
That was the second personal on Brown, obviously the top shot blocker in this game, although there are several really good shot blockers on this Duke team. Latson usually so reliable from the free throw line. 86% free throw shooter on the season. She has now 97 made free throws. That's first in the ACC, top 10 in the country. 12 points in the game for Taina. She averages 20.4 on the season.
And Florida State switching to a zone defense now. Let's see how Duke responds.
Richardson back to Donovan. Latson cross it over. Goes right up against Brown again. Timpson, just 2 points in the game for KK Timpson.
So you'd like to see if Latson's going to drive, maybe somebody fill that lane in behind her, give him a little shovel pass just to get the offense moving.
Here we were saying it felt like a lot of individual effort from Florida State, but not the right kind of collective effort in that first half. Boy, Ashlon Jackson is feeling it tonight. 13 points for Jackson. And the lead continues to grow for Duke.
I don't think anybody looking into this game tonight would have expected this big of a lead, for Duke and for Florida State to only shoot 21% on the night.
And how much confidence will continue to grow for this Duke team. Going through a ridiculously difficult stretch where they've already knocked off a ranked team in Virginia Tech. They went on the road, lost at 4th-ranked NC State. Now tonight, hosting number 23 Florida State, and the Duke Blue Devils saying there's no place like home.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything.
Right here, number 24, Reagan Richardson, and when Duke rotates the ball to the opposite side of the floor, Bajetti's following the ball, and then here goes Richardson down this way. She's going to split through the defense. What a great cut. Finish with the layup for Duke.
4 points in the game for Richardson. Meanwhile, no field goals for Florida State in over 3 minutes. They're 0 for the last 5. It's a 6-0 Blue Devil run. Gordon finds Tucker. Richardson wide open look inside. Complete breakdown to Delaney Thomas. Wide open.
And I like that Duke is finding those plays. You could have settled for a 3, taken that, say, hey, I got my shot, I'm feeling good. No, they went for the better shot.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
That's right.
Wide open in the paint.
And you get an assist out of it. Duke's got 13 of them on the day. That's just a good look inside. Richardson finds her.
Yeah, I was looking at that assist stat at halftime. Florida State has 2 in the entire game. Latson does get a chance here for the 3-point play. She's fouled on her way to the basket.
You can always get a sense of if a team is moving the ball well, if it's getting distributed and other players are moving without the basketball by looking at the assists. And Latson, she can take a heavy load, right? She can carry it, get you a 30-piece. She can't do it all.
Right.
And one of the things that Florida State at times will struggle with is stepping back where Latson's got to take more of that scoring bulk on. Everybody needs to take on that mentality and that mindset of, I have to score for my team. Because Florida State's a team that they want to share the basketball. They want everybody to be shooting out there.
15 points in the game for Latson. Not a lot of help elsewhere. Okanoa back into the game for Duke. Luce Okanoa had 9 rebounds in the first half. I'm not even sure where all 9 of those came from, but there is a reason the 5'10 freshman is the top rebounder on this Duke team.
I mean, she gets after it. She's quick, she's lengthy, she's explosive. I mean, you just watch her move about on the floor, and all I can think of is what a nightmare it would be to try to guard her.
Or to go against her.
Yes.
Pesky defense, which is so good to have that attribute as a defender. Meanwhile, Kennedy Brown now has 7 points in this quarter, 9 in the game. Latson out to Gordon. Good look there. Good result for the Seminoles.
That possession felt good. That's probably the best possession Florida State's had in this game. You penetrate, you turn around and you dish. You got other players moving. That's where Gordon could get that rhythm 3.
Jackson will give her an opening in this game. Offensive rebound, Thomas. 2 players hit the deck. Okanoa and Sakaya White for Florida State. They're both back up, but Gordon not waiting for anybody. White hustling down the loose ball. Tucker. Good handoff at the last second. 6 to shoot now, though. Seminoles have to find something over that Duke defense. Okanoa inside to Thomas. Bajetti had it taken right out of her hands.
It's incredible defense. Look, quick hands. And
Defense
the finish.
to offense on the other end.
Tough.
First points in the game for Okanoa.
And that's hard to believe because Okanoa, I feel like she's been a big presence in this game. Just hasn't put up the points, but getting the boards.
Yeah, impact felt in other ways.
Duke getting it done with the defense. How about those quick hands, Taina Mair bringing the D from Boston down here to Duke. The payoff, Okanoa.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards
Statement is this young Duke team making tonight? You look at their record coming into this one tonight against top 25 opponents. That only win coming in this 3-game stretch that they're on right now. 3 straight top 25 opponents. They started that off with the win against then 14th ranked Virginia Tech. They lost on the road at NC State. Now here comes another ranked opponent into their house, and Duke is looking like they're on top of the world.
It was interesting to talk to Coach Lawson before the game and hear her tell the perspective of their players of, they don't know what they're getting and going to face with Florida State. And so to try and prepare for the speed, to try and understand what's coming at you, you can say whatever you want, but until you get out there and really experience it. So the way that Duke's young team has made this Florida State team feel uncomfortable on one end and then get to the rim almost at will at the other end offensively has been really impressive to me.
Foul on the play will put Jaden Donovan on the free throw line. Freshman out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Banks count from the free throw line too. And of course, want to remind you that tonight at 10 o'clock, after our women's basketball doubleheader, our Nothing But Net crew has you covered. They'll look ahead at what's coming up, give you all the highlights from tonight. It's a great way to end your night, so be sure to check them out. That is coverage you can only find right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Foul on the other end. Okanoa fouled Gordon as she was shooting.
Quite often you see that. Gordon able to shake most players, got some separation from it. Okanoa was still able to get a piece and fouled her in the process, but that's an impressive move from Okanoa defensively.
Maria Gordon, you haven't been able to see it really tonight, but this is a young player, junior, so maybe not that young compared to a lot of the young underclassmen on the floor, but she has had such a good year, really upped every aspect of her game, but has been limited tonight, just 7 points in this game.
Gordon's had a career with foot injuries and trying to come back from that. So she's finally gotten into her flow this year. But right, night like tonight, you got to have Gordon, maybe give you 10 to 12, and everybody's had a tough shooting night. I mean, the only player for Florida State who's made more than 5 field goals tonight is Latson. She's got 6. The next highest player has only made 2 field goals, and that's Gordon.
Yeah, the percentage as a team, under 22% right now. Are you surprised by this? Latson on the bench.
You know, I think it's a game where Coach Wyckoff is looking for answers, and, Latson's not going to be the only player taking you in the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. Some offense has got to come from other players.
Yeah, Seminoles found that out in the most difficult of ways last season.
There it is.
There's Timpson inside, Bajeti finds her, but Latson and Gordon actually both injured in the postseason for the Seminoles last year. That last possession for Duke, that was the Blue Devils' first turnover of the second half. So they started off this third quarter really taking care of the basketball much better than they did a lot in the first half.
Yeah, they tightened up.
Good effort from Donovan to keep it alive. Jackson. Look at the effort on the glass. Akanoa just not giving up. Eventually it winds up in the hands of Carla Villegas, the freshman for the Seminoles side of Spain. Villegas, a born shooter, knocks it down. Well, that was closer than when we saw her doing a shoot-around today. She was on that Coach K Court logo, and she shot it like a regular shot, too.
Right? Almost a set shot. And actually, watch Coach Wyckoff if you can't, right? See her pointing down there? Say, hey, Villegas is trailing. Make sure you hit that. Wow, she has got a smooth-looking three-point shot, doesn't she?
Well, she is a young player, freshman, as I said, out of Malaga, Spain, who's had some great international experience, and she was dubbed, no pressure here, the world's best three-point shooter with the work she did in the U17 World Championship in 2022. She had 45% of her threes in that tournament.
Yeah, that's no pressure at all. Are you kidding me? I'm getting that put on a T-shirt if somebody says that to me.
Reminder that coming up next, we're going to send you to Chapel Hill. Deja Kelly, number 20, North Carolina, taking on the Miami Hurricanes. And the Florida State Seminoles quietly have put together a 6-0 run. Now, they've got a long way to go, but you would agree, Brooke, a couple of their best offensive possessions that we've seen in this game in that run.
Yeah, the assist, right? Bajeti. Yep. Dishing it down to Timpson, and when they make plays like that, thinking of how can I get maybe my teammate a shot, maybe that will help them get out of the offensive funk. When you're in the mindset of let me get mine or let me help my team by me scoring, it can slow you down.
Donovan pulls up with 5 on the shot clock. Got some love from the backboard on a free throw, not so much that time. Latson back out there for Florida State. Dribble got away from her. Jackson into the defense with the left. Foul after the play. That may be Kennedy Brown. If it is, it's her third. And it is. She's been a good presence on both ends of the floor for Duke tonight.
Right, and coming into this game, 133 career blocks. In that 14-point game against NC State. I mean, she's so solid, gives you that consistency down there. Defensively, she takes good, smart shots. Like, you know what to expect from Kennedy Brown.
5 blocks for Brown in this game tonight. Go along with her 9 points. Seminoles in the bonus, so turnage on the free throw line. Misses them both. Made her first 2, missed the last 2. The deficit remains at 22. Bajeti forcing Mair into the backcourt. Under 10 on the shot clock. Mair got away, free path to the basket.
That was probably the worst defensive play for Florida State in this game. If you go back and look at it, how does the lane open up that much? Nobody's talking, nobody's moving, adjusting. But a good job by Mair, though. You know, she read that play perfectly.
Yeah, she's got 15. Latson has the ball in her hands. Imagine she might take the last shot. Maybe not. Now she's going to the shooter. Doesn't work out, though. Duke Blue Devils have put up 24 points in each.
And you already see Florida State a lot more energetic here on defense to start the fourth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But Taina Mair is having herself a night. 18 points now for Mair. Latson got a little too deep on the drive. Good look from Donovan
my
to
goodness.
Expo for the finish. Bajetti comes up empty. She is 0 for 6 from 3, 1 for 11 tonight. Richardson hasn't had to do all the scoring. She had the big game, 22 points in the upset against Virginia Tech. It's been a whole team effort tonight by Duke.
That's Jade Donovan's 6 assists. She's got 9 boards, 9 points. Leading the fast break. Such unselfish basketball tonight for Duke. More
Richardson.
of it.
I don't think there was ever any doubting the talent level on this Duke team. It was just young, right? It was lacking experience. How would it all come together? But it has come together tonight, and I think you're seeing what this Duke team looks like when they're playing with confidence.
Yes. And playing aggressive, right? It's facing a style of play that you know is going to come full force at you offensively. So you got to bring your best and be engaged. The competitiveness and the mentality that Kara Lawson talked about. She said, Pat Summitt made my competitiveness permanent.
Yeah.
That is incredible. I love when she said that.
And Kara Lawson and Duke playing in honor of Pat Summitt tonight, the We Back Pat game for the Duke Blue Devils. Help bring awareness and recognition to the Pat Summitt Foundation in the fight against Alzheimer's. Asked Kara if she talked a little more about Pat, kind of letting her team know what kind of an inspiration she was before tonight's game. And she said, well, not any more than normal. I talk about her a lot.
Every day.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. I loved how she said, you know, there's the way that Pat Summitt enhanced the game and just dedicated her life to making it better, and how she was the best coach, she'd get the best teams, and she was the greatest ambassador of the game.
And it is not easy to wear all of those hats. Foul on the play as actually it's against Florida State on the screen, I think.
It's like be a moving screen.
You wonder a little bit, maybe some of the panic bells were starting to ring for Florida State coming in here with 2 straight losses, but maybe not. Okay, so you got beat by a DeAsia Fair, going crazy Syracuse team. All right, that was on the road. You lose to Virginia, they're a better team than their record. Okay. But now you're coming in here tonight and you are just really struggling to find anything, and Duke completely in rhythm.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a test of will for this Florida State team who just, I mean, they're off. Plays like that they normally make. You know, not able to catch a pass, trying to make an unselfish play. It's been a frustrating night. And Timpson, one of those players you'd like to see who just bounce back in her next game.
It is 11-0 Duke in the 4th quarter. Okonoa gets back. Make it 13-0, and that's what it's been. Foul against Duke this time. And we talk about this Duke balance, this group playing with confidence. There are 6 Duke players with an assist tonight. There are 8 players with 3 or more rebounds, and 8 different players have scored.
You've got double-digit scores all over the place with this team. Mair, Richardson, Okanawa. It's a leading scorer, almost a different leading scorer every night for Duke. Got so many weapons. I mean, you tap into their speed and their ability to share the basketball. I think the strongest part of Duke's game tonight, besides their defense on offense, was their ability to share. 19 assists. That's huge.
And that has been trending upward for Duke over these last few games.
It has. And it's no surprise then that they're shooting 50% from the floor then because of all those assists versus you look at Florida State, who only has 5 assists on the night. They're shooting 22%.
This is one of those game films that Florida State will either burn and never look at or speak of again, or they're going to go back and take a long look at.
So that's an interesting point you bring up, Jen, because Kara Latson talked about film, right, in our meeting with her as well. And I've heard from many different coaches, you probably have heard the same, a player's ability to take accountability during a film session. Foul on Florida State here. To me,
travel first.
Excuse me, yes. I mean, that to me, that shows such emotional maturity and growth when you have a player who can, you know, embrace, hey, there's going to be some things that are going to make me uncomfortable here, but they're going to make me better. I think today's coaches right now are having to deal a lot with feelings over facts and having to say before you watch the film, this is not me tearing you down. This is trying to make our team better.
Yeah, Kara Latson talked about that, how she has that conversation often. She reminds her players, this is just a tool that we are all going to use for correction.
I think a bigger picture and bigger conversation to that in today's players. I mean, that's just incredible. Ashlon Jackson giving us 2 great-looking no-look dimes tonight. But players fight perfection. They fight perfectionism and to be good and great in every area of their life. So the second there's a chip in the armor, a mistake, it's like, oh my gosh, my whole world is blown up, right? And we got to get to that mindset of, all right, a little mistake here and there is a learning tool. And Ashlon Jackson, oh, she's got a nice wraparound. And the way that the chemistry and the players are reading each other with the movements, it's all been flowy tonight for Duke.
Duke picked 7th in the ACC preseason poll. Florida State was picked 5th. They were also ranked 18th in the AP preseason poll. Just to give you an idea of expectations. And perhaps some of those expectations changing with what Duke has done in this stretch. I mean, if you told Kara Latson she was going to come out of this stretch of Virginia Tech at NC State, Florida State 2-1, I think she'd take it.
Feeling pretty good about that.
Okanawa lost the handle, go the other way. Majetti looking for the 3 in the corner from Gordon. Seminoles have still yet to score in the 4th quarter. We're about at the media timeout.
Look, at most coaches just hope for a single-digit quarter.
Right.
Here, Duke could be looking at a bagel.
I mean, this Duke defense is certainly looking to put a feather in its cap with what it's done.
Now, that would be something.
Tucker. Majetti takes it. Nope, not yet. How about Camilla Emspo handling the ball, bringing it up the floor? These moments in games can be tough to battle through, really on both sides.
Yeah. Well,
more so for Florida State.
You're absolutely right. And no, I mean, Duke wants to stay disciplined here. It's obviously easier for them to stay in this flow, and this is fun time, right? This is when everybody gets a chip And you see how many scores are available for Duke. But yeah, for Florida State, this could be a growth moment for them too, because now you have to find a way to play angry. If you don't come in to every single arena every night with that competitive edge and to play like your life depended on it, Duke's going to take advantage of you. Miami will take advantage of you. Syracuse will. Anybody is looking to jump, because that's the level you're going to get at the ACC.
Points right now in the fourth quarter. ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. And how about a little, what was it, a three-quarter court heave from Ashlon Jackson? Close to it to end the first quarter. That should have been a sign, right?
A flick of the wrist. She said, what's good, everybody? This is the way our night's starting off.
Yes.
And she got the party started.
She did.
Yeah, and now the club's still open late in the fourth quarter, but no entry for Florida State yet, and the point level still scoreless here in that fourth.
No, the bouncers are being pretty stingy
They
right
are,
now. Anybody
right.
can guard it.
Checking IDs real heavy.
The Duke defense, I mean, look what they've done here in their last two home games. The numbers you see, that top line, are what the two opponents, Virginia Tech, Florida State, typically average. And then there's what they did against Duke.
Just incredible. The field goal percentage, the three-point shooting, everything. I mean, it's not just, hey, we defend the paint well, so we'll give up the three. It is, when you get the ball inbounds, you are probably going to see a blue uniform pretty close by. The transition for Florida State, they were met with a wall. Transition defense, they stopped that.
You saw a lot of the key pieces for Florida State on the bench. Latson, Timpson. And of course that ball would hit every part of the rim and go out. It's just been that kind of a fourth quarter in particular. 17-0 Duke outscoring Florida State this quarter. Men's hoops coming up on Saturday. Georgia Tech taking on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg at 5. Then Syracuse hosting NC State. Doubleheader coming your way on ACCN on Saturday. Both teams able to dig into their benches a little bit here and get rewarded. Emsbo, she's played well this fourth quarter in particular. She now has 9. And dare I ask, Brooke, but where does Florida State go from here? We know the talent and potential of this team. We've seen it on display this season. And hallelujah, now they at least can avoid the bagel in the fourth quarter.
Got a little cream cheese on the bagel. Finally, a little taste on it. And where Florida State goes from here is they got to regroup fast. They'll stay on the road. They go to Georgia Tech and then have to face Miami. And the gauntlet continues. So for Florida State, it's about finding the edge. I mean, individual players right now, they have to collectively go within themselves and say, could I have played harder? Was I there? Was I as competitive as I could have been? I think if you look at this game tonight, I think Duke was a more competitive team.
And I think both of those words you just said, competitive and team, were in Duke's favor tonight. Florida State just did not look connected.
I agree.
And by no means do I take any credit away from what this Duke Blue Devil team has done tonight. Really impressive. And let's not forget, they're doing it against a top 25 opponent.
Right.
They've played an incredibly tough schedule. They've got a really good net, came in with a net of 24 in the net rankings, the primary tool that the NCAA uses in the selection. So their body of work is speaking pretty highly of what this Duke team is and can be.
And you said it, Florida State doesn't look connected, but perhaps that's Duke's skill.
Yeah.
To disconnect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disrupt and disconnect. Good Hezzy. Good pass.
Go finish. That's one of the newer faces for this Duke Blue Devil team. Number 7, Luann Battiston, a freshman who just arrived this semester from Belgium. Got the assist on that play. Inside look and an open finish for Avery Treadwell, freshman out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Kara Lawson has to be pleased with what her team has done here tonight. 87 points by far their high in ACC play. They have 5 players in double figures.
And the confidence this can give a young team to say, hey, we weren't sure what we were going to see and face, and we handled it.
Take care of business at home. Well, they have certainly done that tonight. Duke will hit the road for their next 2. They go to Miami and then to Pittsburgh for coming back home to take on Wake Forest in North Carolina. Not the game Florida State came in here hoping to play tonight. Got some work to do, this Seminole team. The floater goes for Villegas.
I mean, looking at the box score, it's just really incredible. You look down, and only Latson has made more than 2 field goals tonight. 6 players from Duke have done that.
Yeah.
The distribution is night and day.
Well, and the score nearly double in favor of the Blue Devils. Pattison showing off the handle, but spoke too soon. Lost it in the end, but it's a big win tonight for Duke. 88-46, your final score. They take down number 23, Florida State, in dominance.